Hey, what's happening, peeps? It's Owl Nimbus here. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. Got a dope beat to step. Okay. Anyway, hey, what's up? It's been a long time, and I guess we're gonna do another episode of Last Night at the Majigen. So go ahead and begin.
When I go, don't cry and blame. Yeah. Remember my name.
So I'm here with the one, the only, the one that's returning again, Mr. J Powell. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I see you got Gray Fox and Solid Snake in the background.
Yeah, man. I mean, as we talked about, this is still my favorite game, or the first one, as we talked about before, favorite game of all time. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is on my actually on my virtual background for Zoom. So I was like, let me rep this.
Oh yeah. You
So
picked up did you pick up the vinyl soundtrack?
not yet. I know we talked
Okay.
about it. I am considering it heavily, and then also considering that Snake Eater Delta.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Thinking about doing that shit.
Yeah.
Because first I was unconvinced when they first were talking about it, because I was like, yo, they're doing my boy dirty, my boy is a Kojima, and
Oh
then
yeah.
release more stuff about it. As far as like a lot of the guys that worked on the original shit is still on it, and then Okamura, the guy who's a producer, worked with Hideo. David Hayter interviewed him, and I was like, okay, they're actually doing it justice. So
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to screw up Snake Eater. Like everything's laid out for it as
yeah,
far as pretty much the dialogue, the story, how it's written. They have all the characters there. I honestly think Metal Gear Solid 3 was one of the last ones that I played. Like
oh
I
really?
I
Okay.
played the first one, I played the second one. Somewhere along the line, I didn't even know that they even had a third one because we came from the era when there was no internet around. So it was just like you visit your friends in high school, and then they just happen to have Metal Gear 3. He never played 2. So then I was like, yo, let's switch for the weekend. Like you have 2, I'll take 3, and then we'll meet back up and we'll do our book report on it.
Yeah, I think I read it in a magazine when I heard about it. I was like, oh shit, it might have been EGM or some shit. But I think for me, I was worried about them like just doing a cash grab. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as far as for the HD remake, like how they're gonna do that, and like I mean, there's been a lot of HD remakes that have been shit. That have been set up with just their shit. Like obviously the Grand Theft Auto
Grand
trilogy
Theft Auto.
HD remake or whatever, which is like ridiculous,
Yeah.
and a few other ones. But yeah, they're really doing it justice. They're really honoring the work that Kojima did. Um, so I'm pretty happy with just with everything so far. So I think they've won my $60 or whatever it is. I'll
Yeah.
be buying it on PC for me personally. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, PC
yeah,
is definitely the way to go. I don't even own
yeah.
a PS5 yet. I don't even own one.
Oh, I don't either. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a whole. I mean, from my Gamers for Life podcast, shameless plug. I have a whole Iliad as to why I don't own one. But actually, going back now, like for now that certain people are not in power anymore, and they've made a lot of really good decisions, I'm actually considering getting one again. Getting one,
Okay.
but it might be a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Because of the machine learning shit and the GPU or the CPU actually. So I'm curious about that. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the whole scalping thing was that
Oh
was the thing
man,
that was like, nah, I ain't buying
that
one.
was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And you know what? It seemed kind of shady at the same time because they were just like, yeah, we're aware of this, we're working on it, and then like later they're like, yo, we sold the most PS5s in a month, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Like Jim Ryan, like, what
All,
are you
all
guys
the
doing over there?
all the bots, man, they got everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really
That,
did.
that's definitely, I'm not saying it's cool, but I'm saying it's a genius move when you don't think about it. Because
Yeah.
especially during when COVID happened and people were just staying home, everyone got into like collectibles and people were flipping PS5s and things to that matter. It's genius, but it's like sick. It's like a
Yeah,
Batman villain move.
yeah. The
Yeah.
e-commerce game was crazy. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, and then people were just buying random shit out of depression. It's like, oh, yeah, I think I do need 4 chairs. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
And I remember that I was reading when the panorama first happened. I remember someone I don't one of the East Coast cities. Someone bought like a giant truck of hand sanitizer and they were selling them for like 7 G's for like a big bulk of bottle. And then the
Damn.
government came along and then they confiscated pretty much everything they
Yeah.
had because they had the
Homeland
whole
Sec-
truck.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Price gouging.
I think it was some of the hospitals they were down supplies and they were
Oh
buying some of them.
shit.
Yeah. But
Wow.
remember back then, like we didn't know how bad it was going to be. We had no idea. But
Right.
we're on the up and up now.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a I mean it probably was multiple people, but there was someone selling fake N95 masks and they made like $2 million and Homeland Security
Crazy.
was after them. But
Damn.
yeah, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of schemes are going on, man. Stay
Yeah.
scheming. It's crazy.
Yeah. But
Yes, sir.
Metal Gear Solid. I'm pretty sure, well, probably the people that listen, they don't really know me like that. But lately I've been getting to like certain collectibles and I was looking up an original Japanese poster of Metal Gear Solid, the one from the 90s, the very, very first one that they came out. So like the promo poster of
Mm,
when it came out, when it hit the streets, when it was like in the video game stores, and then it
yeah.
was like the trailer poster. That thing is 700 for an OG one.
Wow.
Yeah, but it has all the Japanese writing on it. It has like Snake on it and Meryl and that white and red artwork that they have.
Yeah.
It's like a B2 size, so it's like maybe like a 30 inches in height and 20 inches across. It's pretty big. Like the ones
Damn.
I have behind me, those are like original posters, but those are the sizes of the
Oh, okay.
Japanese ones. Like the one I have right now is Parasite Eve 1. I
Mm,
have Dark
nice.
Stalkers. The next original one I'm looking to get is probably going to be either Resident Evil, like the very first one in '96, or possibly Street Fighter Alpha 2. We'll see.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
fire, bro. That Metal Gear art that you're talking about. I'm trying to remember the one of the artists. Is Yoji Shinkawa? Is that one of them? One of the
I
artists?
I really wish I did know who did the artwork. I have no
Okay.
idea who did
I
the
don't.
artwork for it.
I mix up if he's one of the artists or if he's one of the cinematographers, like one of like the
Yeah.
camera people or whatever. But
I don't even know what you call that art style though, but it's like
mm,
it's just so iconic. Like you remember just the way it looks. It's
yeah.
every single cover artwork just always had that. It's
Mm.
so sick.
So
But
did you ever play Guns of the Patriots? That was
yeah,
on PS3. Okay.
that game made
Okay.
me buy the PS3.
Yo, a
Yeah,
lot of people on the PS3 because of that
yeah,
fucking game. That's the power of
yeah,
Kojima, bro.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that people are like asking. They're like, "Hey, you guys need to do a remake of Images 4." And they're like, "We'll see. It's in the cards." I'm like, "You fuckers."
Yeah, that's definitely one of those ones where they're just holding it hostage.
Hmm.
Like I still have my PS3 right here. Like, I still got it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that thing hasn't been running for like I forget how long, but I took the whole thing apart and cleaned it out. There was so much dust in it
Oh wow.
because I was playing GTA 4 and it wasn't reading the disc.
Oh shit.
So I had to take it apart. There was just this giant, like, looked like a dog. Like how much dust was in there. But
Shaggy's had in there.
yeah, I was like, what the hell? But it works now. But I know I got Metal Gear Solid 4 somewhere around because there's a lot of
Nice.
games I have on there that are not even like around anymore. GTA 4 is one of them. I know Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of them. And for a long, long time, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That game's
Ah.
been like I had that downloaded on there, and it's just been held hostage until recently.
Mm,
Like Capcom is
mm.
doing like their own little fighting game collection, and they're gonna have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 finally come back.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
Right.
like
That was a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Very nice.
I
Is that the
really
60 gig back there? The PS3? Is that the
I
60?
I don't know. I want to say it was like I want to say it was 80. This is
Oh,
like one of
okay.
it wasn't the first generation,
Oh, okay.
but it was like the second one. I
Nice.
forget which one that was backwards compatible at the time. I don't remember.
I think it was the 60. I remember the 20. I think the 20 and the 60, but the 20 was not Wi-Fi. It was Ethernet only, and I have
That's
no
right.
idea why they fucking did that.
That's right.
And, and my friend was like, "So which one?" Because I was working at GameStop at the time when they released all that shit, and he was like, "Well, so which one's the Microsoft Power one?" I'm like, "Oh, or the 20." And they're like, "And it has built-in Wi-Fi." Right? I said, "Yeah," and then
Didn't have it.
one of those things were correct.
Damn. I was pretty lucky because when I bought it ran Wi-Fi, but the apartment I was living in at the time, it was right behind a Motel 8, and they had free
Mm.
internet there.
Oh
So I would
wow.
use their Wi-Fi over there. There was no password, no nothing. But it had a lot of lag. But we still
Everybody's
played.
on
I was still
it.
playing like Street Fighter 2 on it when they had the HD remix back then.
Nice.
But yeah,
Nice.
the old the
I
piece.
can't even think of having a 20 gig anything because it's like how would you be able to play anything on it?
Yeah,
It's so low of storage, you know.
yeah. Like Resident or Red Dead 2 is like 90 or
Right.
120 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Not to mention like don't even get me started on the Call of Duty games.
Yeah,
Fucking 200 gigs, you know what I mean? Like after all the
insane.
updates and shit. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm trying to.
Absolutely.
It took me like 12 hours to download Red Dead 2.
Mm.
When it came out, I was like, I got it for myself for Christmas Day, and then like it was like midnight. I waited till and then like I downloaded it and it said it wasn't gonna be ready for another 12 hours. I'm like,
Oh
well, I guess I'll just go to bed then.
Dude, I miss those days, bro. I miss those days where it was just like, because I remember me and my brother, we were like, we got Uncharted, and it was like the first time we played the first one, and then like we are just like staring at the screen. I was like, oh, we need to update. Oh, we need an update on this update, and we're just like, yo, fuck this. Like, let's get something to eat and come back.
Yeah, I miss when it was you get everything in the disc. Now everything is like DLC. You want to unlock a character in a fighting game, you DLC. There's no unlockable codes anymore, like the old days, the good old days. Let's see what I got on here. Yeah, I was going through some of these too, like I have like some old like PlayStation magazines I still have around. Like still got some
Oh
old ones.
man,
Yeah, you remember these?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I think a volume one of the PlayStation magazine. It had Final Fantasy VII when it first came out. All the characters. It's like I want to say it was like 170 for that thing. I was like, what? No way! I didn't even know these
Wow,
things were even worth money. But it's like,
that's crazy.
yeah, I still go through them every now and then, like every now and then. But I don't really like keep them for like to get them graded or anything. I just read them just for funsies, just to
Yeah,
go back because you can find some pretty cool copies of them. I know there's a few of them I was reading. I was like, dang, I forgot about Soul Reaver. I forgot about that game.
yeah.
There's Soul Reaver, Dino Crisis. I was like, damn, I
Mm-hmm.
forgot all about this.
Dino Crisis 2. I remember I was playing that on one of my little Android devices where you can upload all that shit on there and play it. I was like, this game was pretty fun because
Yeah.
I never played Dino Crisis 2 like
Oh,
traditionally, you know. I played the
yeah.
first one and I enjoyed it. The controls were fucking terrible,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it was good. But yeah, the second one's like very arcadish.
Oh, it's great. Like this one, the PlayStation Magazine, this particular volume has when Metal Gear 2 first came out, they did like a little interview with Hideo Kojima
Oh
back then.
man, he fucked
Yeah.
everybody, bro. He's like, yeah, bro, this is gonna be the whole game, bro.
Oh my God. Like looking at the art, you get to see like the first look at the Metal Gear Ray before it was even a thing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Little did
Damn.
we know we were going to be doing cartwheels with Raiden naked.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Ah, the good old days.
Good
The good
old
old
days,
days.
bro. Good old
Yeah.
days. So as far as like, oh, like, I mean, before we kind of get off games, are you playing anything new these days? Because I know like Black Myth Wukong came out, people are eating that shit up.
Yeah.
Space Marine 2's around the corner, which I'm actually hyped for. Me and my buddy Arthur, we're gonna be going to town. I actually took the day off for it.
Ah, okay.
I was
One of
like, let's
those days.
go, let's go,
There
let's
you go.
go. I think it's
That
next Thursday and Friday. We're going all in. So
is 2 days going to be enough though?
It has to be. As an adult, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, my wife would be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm taking more than that. GTA 6, I may take 3 days off.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That
and then
one's gonna be the big one.
rolling into a holiday on Monday, so really, it's like bad days off.
So does that mean you're gonna get a PS5 because GTA 6 is I don't know if that's
I
on
would have to, yeah, I would,
yeah.
yeah, because they're, I mean, you know how PC is with GTA, they always get fucked in the end, so it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
And
yeah.
I don't know if that's like is it Sony exclusive?
No. It's gonna be on everything. It's gonna
Other
be on
count
Xbox as
consoles.
well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just always PC always gets the short end of the stick. They always work on that shit last. It would be fire if they like were like, hey, like we've been working on this for so long because we want it to be on everything at the same time. That
Hmm.
would be genius, especially because Grand Theft Auto 5 made $1 billion in 27 hours of release.
Yeah.
So I know they want to fucking beat those numbers, and obviously they want people to play Grand Theft Auto Online for the next 10 years, like GTA 5. So, you
And
know,
just to think that it if PC doesn't even release it on that day, it's like you're missing out on all that revenue.
right,
That's a lot of revenue to leave on the table.
right.
Damn.
They could miss that. They could leave that shit on the table 10 years ago. They can't do that now. Everything is costs too goddamn much money. So yeah, I agree. They have to really do it. Um, they have to release at the same time. So
Yeah, and I feel like with PC, they pretty much have almost everything. Not everything, but they do have a lot of like good games on there. But it just
absolutely,
seems kind of odd to not have it on release date. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
absolutely.
yeah, GTA is gonna be six is gonna be crazy though.
It's gonna be amazing.
There ain't gonna be no one at work.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was making this joke with Arts as far as like, yo, pollution's gonna be better because nobody's gonna be driving.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That'd be the best time to get like all your DMV stuff done.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gas is gonna drop. Gas prices are gonna drop. Like, bro, like it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy out
Yeah.
there.
So what's your favorite GTA then?
Favorite GTA probably Vice City, just
Vice City.
because the radio of Vice City is so fucking amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, you know yeah, I discovered a lot of 80s music listening to that actually. Just
Really?
like yeah, just like, like fucking Brian Adams and
Okay.
all
Yeah.
that
You
shit,
did Run to
Duran
You?
Duran.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like even like some old cuts like the Ghetto Life with Rick
Hmm.
James, so just
Yeah.
like a lot of old cuts, and yeah, I was amazing. I mean, I even found I found the playlist on Spotify. I was just like jamming to it. So
Yeah. It's GTA Vice City. That was the first game that I played. That's the first time I ever heard Nucleus. The
oh
boom,
really?
boom, boom, jam on it.
Yeah.
To jam on it.
With those
And
drums.
yeah, yeah. And my brother, he's a lot more older than I am, but he grew up in the 80s. So like when I was playing it, he's like, yo, I remember that song. I forgot about that. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I miss about GTA is when you bought the game, it came with that giant book, that giant book of
Yeah.
the Vice City. And it was like you're like a tourist there, and it shows you all the radio stations, all the track the location attractions and stuff.
Yeah. I
That
love
was way
that.
back when.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I definitely missed those days for real. Those are important days.
Yeah, for me, I think my favorite GTA was San Andreas at the time.
San Andreas is a classic. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
San
Incredible.
Andreas because it was the first time that he was able to swim. Like remember
Yeah.
you always jump in the
Yeah.
water and you could never ever
Yeah.
swim.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He had
Always.
it had no there was no loading screens either. I don't think
Hmm.
so. Like remember when you go into certain parts of the city and then it would have that
Yeah.
loading screen?
Get a haircut or something or walk
Yeah.
out. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I always loved like the customization that you could do for your character. You can make him fat or you can make him jacked, and
Yeah.
then you could customize the cars and you can make pretty much have them. All the cars have hydraulics back then.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
yeah,
I think it's great.
and they had. I don't know if you're able to. Did they have planes in Vice City? I don't remember.
I think they didn't start introducing that. Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't think they started introducing that until Either Vice City or 4. I'm not sure. They might have actually. They might
Because
have had planes.
I know San Andreas, they have like that scene when you gotta work with James Woods and you gotta get on that airstrip and then use the jet.
Yeah,
So I remember that, but I do remember Vice City having a
a plane mission, right?
yeah, it was like the
Mm.
helicopter one. That you use the RC helicopters and
Oh my
stuff.
god, that
Yeah.
shit like
That one was
that.
hard.
I almost broke my television playing that because that shit was crazy difficult.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like you had to go in the construction site. And yeah. That one's really hard. That's probably like one of the hardest missions in the game. I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
absolutely. My brother was pissed too. He was trying that shit out. Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
You got to do it like in one clean shot. It is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that should take hours, like because we were just like kept like rage quitting and starting again.
Yeah. The classic days, the way back when.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
what do you think about the SP-404?
Bro, the goddamn 404, bro. It's so so. I was talking to my guy L Summers, who I've worked with music before with, and we're actually working on music, working on a new project this year. It should be out like I
Okay.
want to say in October, early October. But we've been talking about beat machines and stuff, and then talking about the 404, the X, and all it's the SX and the A. How like they have like a very distinctive sound in comparison to the MK2, which obviously has more features, but it's a it's a commercialized piece and naturally there's no sound to it. You can obviously fake it by adding your samples in to create a sound, but as far as the machine itself, it has a certain warmth to it. So I was like, you know what? I was looking around on Reverb, fucking came across the 404, the original, and it was listed as not working. But the guy said that I listed this because I never tested it. It is possible that it works. So it's
Hmm.
like, oh shit. So like I went ahead and took the chance because it was only like 139 bucks or something like that.
Yeah.
So when I got it, and I turned it on, it actually did turn on. But the
Hmm.
LCD pad on there, it's like that some of the digits are burnt out.
Huh.
So yeah, so I had to figure out what was like 99 and what was 88
Okay.
because it
All
looked the
right.
same. But I mainly it took a little while to learn it. But once I did, it's very fun. It's very
Really?
fun. I really use it mainly for the resample method. I don't touch the pattern mode. I tried and it's
It's
just
hard.
it's really
It's
hard.
hard.
It's really hard, and I feel like the BPM of what they say a certain sound is not all the time it's accurate.
Yeah.
So I've actually had to look up the BPM for certain stuff, or just play like my phone BPM
And
as I'm like,
then
yeah,
yeah,
as
yeah,
I'm
I
trying
know
to do it.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
so but resampling, that's really where it's at for me. And I made a lot of beats actually. It's funny. Remember we were talking about the Skull Snaps? I
yeah.
actually I played that album and actually sampled some stuff from it and tried
Oh,
on the
okay.
4/4, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
this is fire. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the fucking the 4/4, it's fun. I can see that. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Have you like how deep or how much have you used your SX?
I think yours is a lot more better experience than I was. So like for people who don't know what we're talking about, the SP-44 is like a little it's like a little portable I guess it's like a drum machine. It's like a little MPC. You have 12 pads on here. But a lot of lo-fi folks they use this thing mainly for like
Yeah.
the because like when you they would make their beats like on another DAW, but most of the time they would use this for like the effects on it. The one thing I like about this is that it runs on batteries. So you could
Yeah.
take this to a live gig. You could have like all your beats on like the SD card on the bottom, have all your beats loaded in there and all the effects that you want. And it holds quite a bit, depending on I want to say this is like 64 gigs you could put on here,
Oh,
but
nice.
you have to like put it on for folks who don't know you have to put the sounds onto the SD card.
Right.
But trying to make a beat from scratch on this, it's really difficult. And like the best way I
Yeah.
could explain it is like doing a project for high school, but you can't use a computer, you have to use a typewriter. That's the best way
Yeah.
I could
That's a
explain it.
good way to describe it, definitely. Yeah, because my 404, I only have a 1 gig compact flash card that
Okay.
I had to put in there, and but yeah, and then I don't want to say I cheat, so to speak, but I use drum loops and that helps a lot with this as far
Yeah.
as just like cutting up the samples and everything. But so I'll just find really authentic drum loops and route
Yeah.
them in. But I've really have another thing too like, that I've kind of grown like in a just like an appreciation for those people that are cutting up the beats and stuff. Just really like you're when you're sampling, it's not just like you're using a part of the sample just because like we're laying drums over it. Like you're literally creating a whole new song. So like
Hmm.
I've had beats of shit where I've made some shit and it sounds like I'll take a little bass part and just make sure that that's included in and like this part and then just to be cognizant of the BPM of the sample and then to find drums that kind of layer it in a way where it's creating its own groove. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like I definitely sampling is definitely it's a whole new thing. It's not like I feel like some people they talk down on word on sampling and stuff,
Yeah.
but I just have this theory of it like it's literally a part of music like in general
Yeah.
like Terrace Martin who's like a he's from Crenshaw, amazing musician and producer as well, and he had a conversation with Ninth Wonder about it in an interview, and he was like, I don't know why people say about that about samples. He's like, when I'm
Mhm.
playing, all I'm playing are Charlie Parker licks, and
Yeah.
he's like, I'm just sampling this live sampling, but it's like the same shit essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it, man. I lean between that and the PO33, the
Oh,
little
you have a
pocket.
303?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have a 303.
It's fun, man. You would have a lot of fun with it. It's
Yeah, the
really fun.
303, it has a lot of good compression, very good bass sound from it.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot about it because I believe that's what they use for. I don't know if it's 100%, but I know that they use that in like donuts. I know MF Doom,
Oh
Madlib.
no, I don't have the SP303. I wish I did. No, I have the Teenage Engineering little pocket operator. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, the
Well,
303 is great. The SP303, yeah.
yeah, I always want to get my hands on one of those, but as far as like when it comes to sampling and stuff, the way I look at it is like it's almost like photography. Like photography is like considered an art, but like you would never ever like, oh, you didn't even draw that, so it's not art. But like that's the
Ah,
way I look at sampling. That's the way
I
I
like
look at it.
that. I like
Yeah.
that.
And even like if you use drum loops, all that matters is does it sound good in the end? You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah, because
right.
the you'd be surprised on how many like beats that you love and you would never ever know it was a loop. Like you have no idea.
True,
Yeah. But
true.
like some of the best beats are just from loops. I think so.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite songs of all time is all caps from MF Doom. But like that da na 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 da na 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 like that's just like one continuous
Oh
loop. Like
yeah.
he might have to like chop it so it's in time, like it's in timing, but he's not doing a whole lot of like plastic surgery, if you will, like on the
Right,
beat. But sometimes that does sound good. Like Jay Dilla's "Don't Cry," like there's just bits and pieces in there, and then it sounds like something that's completely different.
right,
Yeah, but
right.
like
Yeah.
what's another great loop? Devil in a New Dress from Kanye
Ah,
West.
that's
That
a good one. That's
yeah,
a definitely
that's
good one.
it's just that Smokey Robinson loop. It's just over and over. And you would think that it's like well, it's kind of a loop. It's like a piece of something, and then when that first part ends, and then it's the second loop. But that
Right.
just goes over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great example.
There's an art to it. Yeah, there's definitely an art to it, and especially like accentuating a certain part,
Mm-hmm.
is pretty dope. Like I remember it's not a hip hop song, but I remember Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation,
Okay.
where they sampled a part from a Sly of the Family Stone riff.
Okay. Yeah.
And the end of the no 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 no
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
no no, and I was like, oh my god, like I had no idea,
Yeah.
but it was just so form fitting into that Janet Jackson track, so
Yeah.
sick shit.
Sly and the Family Stone. I always loved their work. I think one of my favorite samples that was used from them. I want to say it's Sly and the Family Stone. It was LL Cool J. Mama
Mm.
said Nakiaza.
Ah,
Yeah. That I
classic
want to say
sample.
that. Yeah, I want to say that is Sly and the Family Stone. I'm pretty sure it is, but you could quote me on the quote unquote. But
Yeah.
yeah, the SP44. The only time when I really used it, well, I don't even want to say I used it, but in that Akira Kohai album, the Bebop FM project,
Yeah.
that song with Clever Thoughts. And when the song first starts up, that's an SP404.
Oh, nice. So you
Yeah, and
used the
then
SX for that?
s- yeah, so it was the
Mm.
SX, but the way it was done is that I have a homie over in Japan. His name is I am your boy. He calls him your boy, but I want to say he's from Japan. But I was like, yo, man, can you help me out with this? Because I didn't have a SP44 at the time. And I sent him off the track. I was like, yo, I just want because he was good at scratching. I was like, can you just do scratching with the SP44 on the intro and the outro? And he's like, yo, I got you. And he sent me that track back. So shout out to him.
Nice.
He
Yeah.
helped me on that part. But that was all SP404 in the very beginning. So like you might hear like the bass in the song like drop out and then it comes back in, but that is because it's from the SP404, like when it's playing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to say that's the only time we used the SP404 and not the whole thing now. I want to say it was. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Very nice, man. That's
Yeah.
fire. That's fire. Crazy. I was gonna ask you as far as uh what are some of like your what would you say like is a big like misconception when it comes to making music? Because I know like we talked about for the last episode, like like speakers for example, it's like you don't have to have like the craziest speakers to make like certain types
Mhm.
of like hip hop or whatever. What would you say is a misconception that you hear people say like, oh, you got to do this, if you don't do this you're not, like you're not dope, and like you're like they like that's bullshit, like that's not
Yeah,
true.
I think the way you should look at it is don't even think of it as doing like because honestly like when you're putting out your work you want it to last forever, so like I mean it is going to last forever but you want to do the best job you can. But I think one of the biggest misconception is that like you feel like you have to do this stuff alone, but
Mm,
you don't always have to. But like I mean a lot of people didn't know this because we didn't have that kind of access to information back then. But like when Jay-Z did the verses for Still Dre with Snoop Dogg
mm,
and Dr. Dre, like that's all not even like Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre's like they didn't write that. That they flew in Jay-Z to help them with that song.
mm.
But it wasn't they didn't think of it in a way of like, oh, let's get this, they didn't have on like, oh, my pen is right better than your pen or doing it. They're just doing it. They're doing it in a way to make the best song possible.
Yeah,
So
collaborating.
it's like a giant collaboration. And then like I wouldn't say like go out and get a ghostwriter and now like you're the world's best. I'm saying if you're in a headspace to where it doesn't matter what I say, just do what you want to do, but do it in a way to where you feel like you're making the best song possible, regardless if you're using loops, you're using samples. I mean, like even for me, like when I did the Bebop FM, Nostalgic Beginnings, and some other stuff, like I had help from like because I couldn't do all the beats myself. Like I was like, "Yo, man, can you help me on this?" He's like, "Yo, I got you." Like and then or if I need a rapper because I can't rap. I hate how my voice sounds. The dry, clear eyes guy. But like if you need help with something, like I can't make the artwork. There's no way I could draw the stuff that my homie Holy Crab or Nogatsu could draw. It's just everything. When you make a project, try to think of it in a way it's like a group team effort. Like we love Metal
Yeah,
Gear Solid, but Kojima couldn't do it without David Hayter, and David
yeah,
Hayter can't do it without it's a giant group thing when you think about it.
yeah. No, I think that's great, man. That's a great reminder too, because I think I feel like a lot of artists, we get in our own heads when it comes to making a lot of this stuff, and
Yeah,
it's okay to ask for help or just to collaborate.
yeah,
I feel like some people they don't like collaborating because they feel like, well, I want to be fully mine, and
yeah.
I forgot who said this, but probably multiple people. But it said like your stuff really flourishes when you let someone else be a part of it.
Yeah.
Even from like a financial portion.
Hmm.
Because I remember someone was like you can own 100%. of something and if it's not good quality, like what does it matter? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like you're on 100% of nothing essentially, you know. So
Yeah, and that's like how a lot of people start. I mean, Jay Dilla was really good at what he did, but his quality wasn't as amazing in the beginning. So I believe it was someone from it was a funk band. Maybe I forget who it was, but someone showed him how to use the MPC. And like we love MF Doom and Madlib, Mad Villainy, but what would that be without, Peanut Butter Wolf? And he's the guy that has like the studio, the resources, and all that stuff. Like it's a compilation of everything. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially when it comes to like a mixing portion too. Just like a lot of those amazing engineers and people mixing the certain albums
Oh
to
yeah,
get that
yeah.
sound, you know. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Yeah,
Because not everyone could do it. I can't do mastering. I feel like if I do mastering myself, I'd feel I would be biased to do it. I would say, yeah, it's good enough. That sounds horrible. Like I got to give that. I need someone with a neutral ear to not say, "Oh, this is good, homie." I need someone who doesn't even know me. Like I'll send my stuff off to the UK and then get it mastered because he doesn't know me. I don't know him. There's no benefit to each other. It's just business, and then he just
right.
does what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm.
Yeah, that's the way
That's
I.
it. That's interesting because, like, I think too. I've kind of like came to a realization on this stuff a couple years ago, as far as just more recording and everything. When you are doing something yourself, say like I feel like a lot of artists, definitely during the COVID era, right? A lot of people had to be their own producer and kind of
Mhm.
be okay criticizing themselves when they record because it's like, yo, like it's shut down. Like I can't have my producer be like, hey, let's do that again. Let's do that again. So when you're doing like a vocal recording, being cognizant of like when you play, you're like, I could do it again, you know, and then like not
Yeah.
being buttered on yourself, just being like, you know, I think I can do a different performance, and then like that's the one, you know. I
Hmm.
feel like I do a good job of that, where I can just kind of take like separate the ego and just be like, okay, that sucked, let's do it again, you know, like
And there's nothing wrong with that
yeah,
because I mean, that's how Dr. Dre was with Easy E, but Easy E couldn't do that with Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre couldn't do that without Ice Cube. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right,
but it was that do this again, do this
mm,
again. I know. I think it was. I want to say. I think it was Exhibit. Yeah, it was Exhibit when they did that song Multiply. But he's like, I've been this way and I can't stop. Like he said, he
yeah,
did that like 200 times or something crazy. Just that one part,
damn,
because Dr. Dre's like, you got to say it like this. You got to say it like this. And like he's like, I've been this way, but it was just the way he says it. It's such a
wow,
small part. I know it's in an interview. I know it's somewhere, but he said it was just that one small part. I've been this way. It's like he had to like say it a certain way to where it was Dr. Dre's like, yeah, that was good, and then go from there.
nice,
Yeah,
nice. That's good. That's good stuff, man. You know, and yeah, I'm totally for that. I mean, that's definitely inspiring in itself as far as like, yo, like I want to get it to how it needs to be gotten. And then some people they can do one take ponies and that's it. Like I know Hail Mary, that was like in one take. It was like crazy. It was like one of
yeah.
the one of the dopest performances, you know, in hip hop. It's like, damn, that's
That
crazy.
really goes to show you on how some because it shows you one side that all these artists are human because they're not perfect in any way, but also shows you the great lengths on how good someone really like people say that Jay-Z
Yeah.
doesn't even write. Like he's just in there and he just
Yeah.
does it all in one take, like in his head, and then it's good.
Yeah.
I could never do that. If I was a really good rapper and I just did it in one take in my head, because I'd be afraid to do it in live performances. Like, what did I say this time? Like, or do I once you get that giant catalog, did I say this before? Like
Yeah.
that's hard.
That's
That's hard to
insane.
do.
Like that's insane. Like that's insane on multiple levels. Like I always talk about this with my guy D Skills Harris. Shout out to him. He he's a fantastic, you know, musician and rapper and artist, and he always gets frustrated when he sees like new cats go into the booth and they don't prepare. You know, they don't
Mhm.
prepare, and they're just like basically like wasting like the engineer's time in a sense, and like the engineer almost ends up like helping him make the song to get it done. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
like you gotta practice this shit, or you gotta
Get it
be
down.
prepared. Yeah, you just be
Yeah.
prepared. Have it on your phone or whatever. It's like not everyone has the Jay-Z thing where they can just
Yeah.
say pretty like double entendre, pretty crazy stuff like on the fly or whatever. It's like it's not everyone can do that, and that's okay.
It's definitely hard, but I do feel that, especially if you're collaborating and they're asking for your help, there's a point to where it's like, yo, man, just be professional, just do your thing. I
Yeah,
want you on this, even if you're asking for a feature. Like when I reached out to Clever Thoughts, like I gave her the premise of like this is a tsundere. What's a tsundere? It's like a person that really is attracted to you, but they're very like mean towards you. So I kind of had to like explain what that was, but then you just let her do her thing. When she came through, she had the premise down, she knew what I was talking about, and then we were like on the same page. But sometimes you have to like let the artist do their thing. But if you're like the head lead in the album, like you know what your theme is. I say if you're hiring, whether it's a rapper to help feature or whatever, give them that direction, because sometimes they might not know, and you don't want to live with that regret of feeling like, man, I really wish I could have had it this way. Or like, I'm not saying it has to be to a T, like somewhere along the line you have to compromise, but at the end of the day, it's still your project, so you get to have the say. Like if Uniregi asked me, hey, can you make me an interlude? And can you do, I'm doing something like a restaurant theme. Can you put like old school, commercials of a food or like some food or something like that in there? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like if he didn't have that direction, then I wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Your features on that on the Kirikali project was solid, bro. Like I
Yeah.
like everybody was spitting fire and did a really great
Yeah.
job on it, So I mean, kudos to you just having like I mean a lot of those people I didn't even know. It was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that person's fire, that person's fire, that person's
Yeah.
fire. Like, where can I find their stuff?
Yeah. And then now you see like Clever Thoughts from Jay Nolan. It's like Jay Nolan was the first one I met.
Mm,
And then AC was the second one that I met on Fiverr.
yeah,
Because I know living this way, I wanted to get Jay Nolan to do it, but he was busy with something. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can find somebody else. And then AC just had that flow. And then I knew I wanted a female on the Sunday because I had it in my head. Like I
yeah.
just had it. And then I was like, I just gotta find just the right person. And then eventually Clever Thoughts came around. But yeah, they just like own it. Like even for AC, I was like, yo, man, this is the premise right here. Just let me know. Just if you need something, just let me know. But this is the premise. 16 bars. You start on this 30-second mark. You end on minute 28 or whatever it is. And then he just goes. He's like, all right, man, I got you. Like 2 days. And then he sent it back. It's like, damn, this is
Nice.
amazing. I played that on repeat for like hours, man. I was like, oh damn, how does
Man.
it sound so good? It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, yo, AC, bro. I need to listen to more music of yours, bro. Like,
yeah,
show me the way. Where can I listen to more? Because your stuff's crazy.
yeah. I gotta find him. I don't even know if he has like a I know he has like a Spotify, but I checked like his Spotify stuff. I never really found too much. He's just a guy that just, I
Yeah,
think what his thing was when I found him on Fiverr, he was like I don't know if he does like ghostwriting or what he does, but I found him. I was like, yo, man, just feature. Don't even think about ghostwriting. Just do this. Send it back to me. It's gonna sound dope.
right.
And yeah, yeah. AC is dope, man. I love AC.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, even if he has like a fucking SoundCloud, bro. Like, yeah, just
yeah.
link me.
Yeah, I'll see if because I kind of wanted to ask him for something again. Like I was like,
Mm,
hey man, let's just do one more.
there you go.
So
There you
we'll
go.
see. We'll see.
There you go. Are you working on anything new-ish?
Mm. I do, but I want to just do just like an EP of something. I'm getting kind of bored,
Yeah,
but like I want to. It's kind of but most of the stuff when I have stuff, it always starts from like writing. Like I write
yeah,
a lot. I write like I have notebooks of like the Akira dialogue. Some are written down, but like I've just been. I think a lot of it influences from like what I'm watching. So like a lot of stuff I'm watching is like horror films and like
Oh wow.
yeah. So like if I do have something, I kind of want to say I do, but I'm some of the beats they could be better. But I do know I have like a few of them that are like, oh, that's dope. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Nice.
We'll see.
Cool, man. Cool.
What about you, sir?
Oh man, yeah, I got lots of bleeding out of my ears, bro.
Really?
Yeah, well, I just released on the hard drive mixtapes volume 3, which most of it I used the Teenage Engineering Pocket 33.
Okay.
I used like 3 of the 4 of those songs. I used that, and then the last song I made the beat on FL on FL Studio a while ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I've been cutting up a lot of different joints on the 404. Originally, earlier last year, I was saying how I wanted to do a like a Japan beat mixtape, just to like
Oh,
in our Japan, like, kind of like Jayla's Japan, but Drola's Japan.
yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm working on that one. I'm working on a project with L Summers, which he made all the beats, and I'm rapping, and I'm rapping in most of them, and he's rapping on it as well, which is fire, which sounded really dope. So that should
Mhm.
be a vibe when that comes out. And then I'm slowly but surely working on a blues rock album. I've been thinking of just some ideas for it, and I ended up getting a Zoom R4 because I guess it's pretty dope as far as like layering a bunch of like ideas over, as far as like drums and bass and all this stuff, and they have like built-in effects too, as far as like a clean preamp or pedals or whatnot. So really good just to carve out ideas, because eventually I want to start playing live again in LA.
No.
Again. But yeah. So just I'm kind of have a handful of stuff that I'm working on. It's just as far as like how to approach it, and, amongst like the life shit.
Uh,
But yeah, man, got a couple bolts in the chamber. So
so you play guitar mostly, no?
yeah. Well, as far as when I'm doing instruments, yeah, I play guitar. I'm starting to learn bass actually. I got a bass guitar
Yeah.
for my friends, so I learn bass too. But yeah, my main instrument is guitar. I'll be singing on the album too, on the rock album.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, guitar's fun. I'm
Yeah.
not very good at guitar, but like I I'm very selective when I want to learn how to play guitar. Like I just want to learn one riff, like that song, "Evil Woman," bada bam bam bam. Like that's the only part I want to learn, just that part. Then
you're
I'm
like
done.
you're like I'm content.
Yeah. I think the most like complicated thing I ever learned on guitar was probably the Fountain Fairy from Zelda. That's like the
Oh,
only thing
nice.
that's the only thing I ever learned on guitar. That was like really it.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
There's such a really interesting history with musicians playing old school shit. I'm sure you probably heard of the album. I think it's called The Advantage. Either it's a band, The
Hmm.
Advantage.
I haven't heard
They
of it. Go
they
ahead.
co- oh okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They covered a bunch of Nintendo, like Super Nintendo songs, and they're like fucking like
Uh,
metal guitarists, but they're like playing all of like this 8 16-bit music, but they're just fucking like
yeah.
like, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty outstanding. I think the album's on Bandcamp. But if you
Okay.
look up like The Advantage, and you'll probably see like a Super NES, some like in
That's
space or some
cool.
shit
That's cool.
on the cover. Yeah, I was
Like
like, cause
Star Fox.
yeah, like
Yeah.
my friend was telling me about, because he was a metal guitar player when we were kids or whatever, and he was just like, yeah, like this band's awesome. I was like, oh shit, like that's crazy, So yeah, man, as far as like a lot of classically trained or just like crazy, talented musicians did a lot of those. Those songs when we were growing up. I mean, like Final Fantasy, like that
Hmm.
music's incredible. Like the
Hmm.
main guy, he's not even classically trained. He just has incredible technique,
Yeah.
and obviously, he's got a whole fucking orchestra to do all that other stuff. So it's pretty amazing. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing. A lot of people don't understand, like people that aren't like us, like they don't understand like how much is involved in these games and stuff.
Hmm.
Like I love the Metal Gear Solid like
Hmm.
music. Oh my god, like
Genius.
everything.
Genius. It
Yeah.
had everything on point, and Final Fantasy music in general,
Mm.
it's like timeless.
Yeah.
It like you could if you went to like if you had like a church, you could play like the theme of Final Fantasy. No one would know, but they would feel like it fits.
Right, right.
You can play Air's theme in there, and no one would even know. It was like, yo,
Right.
this is genius. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. So good. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know what your favorite Final Fantasy is, but mine is nine.
Oh, nine's dope.
Nine is so fun. Like I remember going from disc 3 to disc 4, and at the end of disc 3, shit just gets mad fucked up. Like a
Yeah,
town gets burned or some shit. And I'm like, what
yeah,
the fuck? And then like I
yeah.
had to like go to school, like catch the bus. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I for me it was definitely seven, and I know that's like the basic choice, but you got to remember like back then on the PS1, like there was never ever any games like that had like a giant world map like that, no giant
Right.
dialogue or deep story like that. Like when we got out of Midgar, I was like, "What? There's another world out of it?" I thought that was like the end. Like when they escape the when they break out Aerith and on the motorcycle. I thought
Yeah.
that was the end of the game, and I thought the other
Mm.
two discs were like soundtracks. I don't know if people remember that, but like the you could take the PlayStation disc and put them in a CD player. We'll play the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so I thought,
I did that with Twisted Metal, I think. I was like, oh shit, there's a whole fucking soundtrack.
yeah, yeah, that's what was great about this. I really wish that stuff was, and then the bottom of the disc was black, and
Yep.
like, oh my god, like Final
Yep.
Fantasy VII really blew me out of the water because I borrowed it from a friend from like over the summer, and he's like, yeah, we'll be in the same grade next year or same class because it was a small school. So yeah, just bring it to me after the summer, and then I would call his house and be like, yo man, I'm stuck here. I can't find the key where it's buried at for to get into the the temple of the ancients or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, you got to go here. And but I remember that game like really blew me away like when I was a
Yeah.
kid. But nine's dope though. I ain't hating on
Yeah.
nine is
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, obviously because seven's a classic, for various reasons. And I remember even like Final Fantasy X. I remember playing that in middle school. My
uh
friend Yard, and like I put like over 50 hours in that game. Like
yeah,
it's crazy. Like I can't even
yeah,
imagine putting that much into a game now. But yeah, I was glued. Like I maxed
yeah.
out all my shit.
Did
Like yeah.
did you cry in the end?
It was a little tearsome. A little tearsome.
Yeah. Yeah, but that opening score to Xanarkin, I forget how the song. I don't have it in my head right now, but just
Yeah.
that piano is like, damn. That was like
It's
that was
crazy.
one of the first Final Fantasy on the PS2, if I remember.
Mm.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
nine, and then 10 was on the
Yeah.
PS2. From
Fucking Blitzball, dude.
yeah, Blitzball with what's his name, Waku, whatever his name
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
Waku, and then there was
Yeah.
Lulu and the other girl.
Aaron, the guy,
Auron was
Aaron,
dope.
he was the
Woo!
G, bro.
Yeah,
Because the main guy, like, he was just whining a lot. And it's just like,
yeah.
yeah, stop being a bitch.
The Titus,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah, exactly. The random.
yeah,
I'm like, this.
really were in that
I know
studio.
exactly what you're talking about. That's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was such
like
a
they were in
weird
that.
part of the game. Yeah, that
They
was
were
so
in that
weird.
studio, and they're like, "That sounds good." They're like,
Yeah, like this is hilarious.
"Oh
Like
my
they're gonna
god."
love it. American audiences are like, what the fuck is this? Can I save
Oh
now?
my god. Yeah, damn. On the real though, Aaron, man, Aaron was
Yeah,
dope. He was
he
like
was
the
the
best
G.
character in that game.
Absolutely,
Best character.
unequivocally, he was. Yeah, he was incredible.
Damn. Yeah, and then like in the end, you fight Sin. It's just like,
Hmm.
yo, fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was so happy like on the end of Final Fantasy VII because that took a long time just to like because I know you could get like the limits. I never got Omni Slash. I never knew how to get that
Oh.
back then.
Mm.
And then when I finally got it, then we beat Sephiroth. It was like, whoa, like my life's complete as a 10-year-old. I was like 10 or something like that. Oh, we get to see because back then you could YouTube the endings,
Right.
and then
Exactly.
like even in the strategy guide, it would say, "Oh, the ending you earned it, so we're not going to spoil anything. We'll let you
Oh,
enjoy
that's
the ending."
dope.
Yeah,
That's
and then
fire.
damn, bro. The only thing
That's
I didn't
fire.
okay, so the only thing I didn't like about nine was that strategy guide. That was the
Mm.
only thing I didn't like about nine. Did you ever have the strategy guide for
No,
nine?
no, no.
So it would tell you like what to do, but it would say like, oh, if you want information, go to www.playonline.com. And it would never ever explain like
Oh
how to do certain
wow.
things. Yeah. It was like if I ever get a copy, I'll have to like ship you it. And
Yeah,
then
it's like
like
the beginning of the end.
yeah, and then you like read
Of like
it
good strategy guides.
and then
Oh
it's just
man.
like, oh man, like oh, it tells you what to do, and then it's very vague and it will never tell you how to do it. But it's like if you want more detailed stuff,
Oh,
go to www.playonline.com. Like
that's crazy,
every time. And
bro.
then like when I was a kid, we never had like computers like that. No one, not even in our family, had like reliable internet back then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely my household too. It was
Oh.
like sometimes the shit works, sometimes it fucking didn't. You know, so exactly. I think a lot of people wrote on forums and shit because because like even certain things would like be inaccurate or whatever. Like, no, this is how you fucking do it, and people were going to
Yeah.
various forums and shit. Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
it makes me happy that because we were talking about remakes that they really ruin
Mm,
stuff
yeah.
sometimes, but sometimes when they knock it out of the park, it's just
Oh, it's
incredible. Like
beautiful, right?
oh, like Final Fantasy VII remake is so good. Like it's so good that's probably one of the greatest remakes that's ever made. Resident
Nice.
Evil 2 remake is probably one of the
Oh
best ones ever
man.
made.
Yeah, Resident
Woo,
Evil fucking 4
woo,
remake.
the Ric
Yeah.
Flair. Woo, yeah. Oh, where's it at? Let me
Yeah,
show you
bro.
something right here.
That was one of the best selling games that year. Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Yeah, so people who are audio listeners,
Yo.
they don't know what this is, but the audio listeners, I'm holding in my hand. This is an original from Toy Biz from 1998. It's a sealed
Wow.
figure of Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 1, old
Wa-
school one.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I was
Damn.
looking up. I was trying to get Mr. X. I want Mr. X next.
Yo, Mr. X is you could probably flip that for a good bill.
Oh yeah,
A
like
lot of people will fuck with that. That's crazy.
yeah. I also got this one too for folks. I also have Tifa Lockhart, Final
Oh,
Fantasy
nice.
VII. This is like the old school one, still sealed in the box. From
Nice.
has all the Japanese writing on there.
That's fire.
Yeah, 1997. This one. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. I got some pretty cool stuff around here.
That's dope, bro. It's funny. I remember playing Final Fantasy 8 and like you had to take like you had to actually go to school into the school and to take a test before you can be a security guard. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah. Over in the
I,
garden, man.
I was like getting anxiety like trying to like test right to be a security guard for a fucking game. I'm like, this is a little too much for me right now. I have to
Yeah.
actually take my finals.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy VIII was dope. I love
Mm,
the only thing I didn't like about Final Fantasy VIII was that the bosses they level scale with you. So even if you
mm,
max out your levels, they're still on par with you. Like trying
yeah,
to beat it at like level like 100 or 99, whatever the max stat is, it's still hard.
it
Like
was crazy
it's hard.
challenging. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about it. If they didn't scale like the enemies didn't scale because they do it in a way to where it's like it's still hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy
right.
game to beat. But
Yeah, it was
if that was
weird.
in place, but it's dope.
The
The
gunblade is
gunblade is
fire.
dope.
That was like my favorite thing. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
where can I get one of these?
yeah, the gunblade. I think there was a show called Man at Arms, and they remade the gunblade. Like they
Oh,
made it.
nice.
Yeah, they made the whole thing, and then even like the revolver piece, it moves around and stuff. And oh,
Wow,
yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
good shit. Good
Yeah.
shit. Good shit, bro. Anything else before we close out? We're right an hour, I think.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think I have
yeah,
anything else right now.
yeah.
But if you want to go ahead and follow the podcast and stuff, I'll probably put this on YouTube as well.
Cool,
So
cool.
get that done and put that on Spotify, and then I think that'd be it. And
Yeah, man. Let me know when else I can be on. I know, like, and I don't feel bad to you if you don't put this out mad later. You're like, Drill, I can't have two episodes of you the same.
no, no, I don't even think of it like that. Just put it out. Just put it out.
Cool,
But
cool.
but yeah, it'd be cool. You have anything else you want to? plug or anything?
No, man. Well, if anything, you can follow me at JPowell Music on Instagram, J.Powell Music on Instagram. That's where I'll kind of share all my stuff. I'll do posts of like all the podcast shit that I'm doing for Gamers for Life. You can go when you go to JPowell Music. There's a link in the bio for everything else that I fucking do, which is too much. But 440 Guitar Podcast, Gamers for Life, anything musically that I'm doing. There's actually a video of me fucking around with the 404. I think I sampled a really old like 1972 like gospel like
Okay.
album and add some drums over it and you doing some other stuff, playing guitar and all that shit. So yeah, I'll just say just follow the Instagram. You can find everything else.
For sure, for sure. All right, folks. So this is last night the Majigen. We're over and out. So I'll see
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Peace.
Adios.
Get your love when I'm gone. Who gets your love?